Most people return things because the product failed. These people return things because reality did. A fan blew air. A fridge made food cold. A flashlight worked better in the dark. And somewhere in America, a fully grown adult looked at all of that and thought, yeah, I deserve store credit. This is not a list of broken products. It's a list of customers who lost a fight with time, weather, temperature, basic function, and occasionally their own decisions, then marched straight to customer service like they were the victims. Here are the weirdest things people actually tried to return to stores. Number 1. The fan guy. One man returned a fan because it blew papers off his desk and ruined his workday. He had it on the highest setting, so basically, he declared war on wind and expected a refund. Number 2. The milk philosopher. A woman returned a gallon of milk because it expired. The only problem? It had been sitting around for 2 months. Apparently, she believed milk should come with emotional support and a personal reminder system. Number 3. The raincoat genius. A man returned a raincoat because it was too waterproof. He said it kept all the rain out but made him feel trapped inside. Sir, I'm sorry the coat succeeded too aggressively. Number 4. The headphones that worked too well. A woman returned noise-canceling headphones because they canceled too much noise. She missed half a coffee shop conversation and blamed the product. That's like buying sunglasses and filing a complaint against shade. Number 5. The flashlight visionary. Someone returned a flashlight because it only worked well in the dark. He wanted something more useful all the time. Buddy, what you're describing is not a flashlight. It's called a lamp. Number 6. The refrigerator victim. A man tried to return a refrigerator because it was too cold. Even after adjusting the settings, his food still got colder inside. Yeah, that's not a product defect. That's literally refrigeration. Number 7. The sunglasses betrayal. A customer returned sunglasses because they made everything darker. He apparently expected eye protection without any reduction in sunlight, which is a beautiful way of saying he wanted shade that didn't behave like shade. Number 8. The ice emergency. One guy brought back a bag of ice because it melted in his car. After 4 hours. In heat. At that point, you're not returning a product. You're trying to return the concept of temperature. Number 9. The chocolate tragedy. A man demanded a refund for a melted chocolate bar after leaving it in his car all afternoon. He acted like the store had hidden this possibility from him. Sir, chocolate isn't broken. Summer happened. Number 10. The snow globe negotiator. Someone returned a snow globe because the snow fell too fast. He wanted a slower, more relaxing snowfall. So now we're critiquing gravity like it's a customer service issue. Amazing. Absolutely majestic stupidity. Number 11. The rain boots complaint. A man returned rain boots because they got wet. Not inside, just wet in general. Which is exactly what happens when rubber boots meet rain. At this point, some people need a refund from kindergarten science. Number 12. The wedding cake divorce settlement. A woman tried to return a half-eaten wedding cake because the marriage didn't work out. She claimed the cake had bad energy. Ma'am, that is not dessert failure. That is heartbreak with frosting on it. Number 13. The fence attorney. A man attempted to return an entire backyard fence after 5 years because his dog figured out how to escape. That's not a defective fence. That's a motivated dog and an owner outsourcing embarrassment. Number 14. The marathon genius. One runner returned his shoes after completing a marathon because his feet hurt. Yes, because he ran a marathon. Blaming sneakers for soreness is like blaming stairs for gravity doing its little job. Number 15. The festival mattress. A customer returned a used air mattress after a 3-day music festival because it wasn't comfortable enough. It came back covered in grass stains and regret. That item didn't fail, it simply survived you. Number 16. The wedding suit rental scam. A man returned a suit after wearing it to a wedding, saying he only danced in it for a few hours. That's adorable, You're not returning formal wear. You're attempting receipt-based laundering of your social life. Number 17. The November 1st costume. Someone returned a Halloween costume on November 1st because it was too scary for the party. Really? That sounds less like a defective costume and more like a costume that understood the assignment. Number 18. The memory foam exorcism. A couple returned a mattress after 6 months because it had too many memories. They got engaged on it, then later broke up on it. At that point, you don't need a refund. You need therapy. Number 19. The knife scholar. A man returned kitchen knives after a year because they got dull over time. When told knives need sharpening, he looked surprised. Sir, that's not poor quality. That's you discovering maintenance at full volume. Number 20. The puzzle confession. Someone returned a jigsaw puzzle fully assembled because it was too hard and not fun. That is incredible. You finished the entire thing, then brought back the evidence like customer service was your grief counselor. Number 21. The backyard fence lawsuit. A man tried to return his backyard fence after 5 years because his dog had learned how to escape it. Sir, that is not product failure. That is your dog earning a scholarship. Number 22. The fish-free fishing rod. One guy returned a fishing rod because he didn't catch anything with it. The store gently reminded him that fish are living creatures, not guaranteed appointments. He still called it defective. Absolutely stunning entitlement. Number 23. The blender that refused culinary greatness. A woman brought back a blender because it didn't create a real meal. She expected it to turn ingredients into gourmet food by itself. Ma'am, that's a blender, not a private chef with blades. Number 24. The unlucky golf clubs. A man returned his golf clubs after a bad weekend tournament because they were clearly cursed. Nothing says personal growth like blaming sporting equipment for your own tragic swing mechanics. Number 25. The treadmill manifestation plan. One guy tried to return a treadmill because it didn't help him lose weight. When asked if he used it, he said no. He thought owning it might be enough. That's not fitness. That's furniture-based optimism. Number 26. The alien-free telescope. A man returned a telescope because it didn't show any alien spaceships. He spent 3 nights staring at the sky and got mad at the stars for being too normal. Honestly, the telescope deserved better. Number 27. The self-cleaning oven expansion pack. A woman returned a self-cleaning oven because it didn't wash her dishes, too. She heard self-cleaning and decided the kitchen had entered full automation. Ma'am, the appliance is ambitious, not magical. Number 28. The yoga mat osmosis theory. Someone returned a yoga mat because it didn't improve flexibility. Turns out she mostly just sat on it. Apparently, she believed stretching could be absorbed through the thighs like Wi-Fi. Number 29. The grocery delivery drone. A woman returned a drone because it didn't bring groceries back from the store. She genuinely launched it like a tiny, unpaid intern. That's not smart tech. That's lazy science fiction. Number 30. The fire alarm firefighter. A man returned a smoke detector because it didn't put out the kitchen fire. He stood there waiting for it to do more than beep. Sir, it detects danger. It is not Batman. No. 31. The ghosted Ouija board. A customer demanded a refund for a Ouija board because it didn't summon anything. Candles were lit. Lights were dim. No spirit showed up. Imagine being so annoying, even the dead leave you unread. Number 32. The mirror truth problem. A woman returned a mirror because she didn't like how she looked in it. That is an incredible level of confidence. Not in herself, obviously, but in the idea that reflection is negotiable. Number 33. The perfume lawsuit against reality. One woman returned a bottle of perfume because it didn't attract men the way she expected. She sprayed it on in the store and waited dramatically. Nothing happened. Yeah, that's not a scent problem. Number 34. The time-moving clock. A customer returned a wall clock because time felt like it was moving too fast after she hung it up. That is not a warranty issue. That is a midlife crisis with batteries. No. 35. The too quiet vacuum conspiracy. One man returned a vacuum because it was too quiet, so he didn't trust it. Apparently, if an appliance isn't screaming like a jet engine, it must be lazy. Some people need noise to feel productive. Number 36. The toaster numerology case. A guy brought back a toaster because it didn't toast in even numbers. Sometimes it popped after 1 minute, sometimes 3. At that point, you don't need customer service. You need a priest. Number 37. The alarm clock hurt his feelings. A man returned an alarm clock because it was too aggressive in the morning. He wanted something that gently suggested waking up. Sir, that's not an alarm clock. That's a therapist. Number 38. The cookbook defense attorney. A woman returned a cookbook because the recipes turned out wrong. When asked if she followed them, she admitted she changed a bunch of ingredients. So the book failed because she freelanced dinner? Classic. Number 39. The aquarium that didn't include fish. A man returned an empty aquarium because his fish died. The store explained they only sold the tank, not live fish. He still felt he deserved compensation. Some people want IKEA, but for ecosystems. Number 40. The coffee maker temperature crisis. A woman brought back a coffee maker because the coffee was too hot to drink right away. That's amazing. She discovered fresh coffee and treated it like a manufacturing scandal. Patience was never invited. Number 41. The ceiling fan barista. A man returned a ceiling fan because it didn't cool his coffee. He installed it over the kitchen table and expected breeze to become refrigeration. Sir, that is not airflow. That is wishful physics. Number 42. The mirror defamation case. A woman tried returning a mirror because she didn't like how she looked in it. That's not a faulty product. That's a very direct reflection and a customer absolutely refusing constructive feedback. Know that. 43. The umbrella too big for indoors. A man returned a giant umbrella because it was too big. He proved this by opening it inside the store and knocking over a display. Bold of him to blame the umbrella for his own geometry. Number 44. The slow cooker discovery. Someone returned a slow cooker because it cooked too slowly. When reminded the word slow was right there in the name, he acted shocked. Reading really continues to lose ground in this country. Number 45. The cat's customer service representative. A man returned a used litter box because his cat refused to use it. He seemed to believe the store should somehow negotiate with the cat. Retail workers already suffer enough without feline diplomacy. Number 46. The balloon durability test. A woman demanded a refund for balloons because they popped too easily. How did she test them? She stabbed one with a fork. That's not quality control. That's premeditated nonsense. No. 47. The sandproof towel dream. A man returned a beach towel because it got covered in sand. He had used it at the beach. Apparently, he expected a towel that could defeat an entire coastline. Beautiful optimism. Completely unserious. Number 48. The treasure tease detector. A guy brought back a metal detector because it didn't find his lost keys. It kept picking up bottle caps instead. Sir, it detects metal. It is not emotionally invested in your specific metal. Number 49. The coolness refund. A customer returned a skateboard because it didn't make him look cool. He wiped out in front of teenagers and blamed the board. That is not product failure. That is public character development. Number 50. The seasonal memory loss. A man tried returning a snow shovel in August because he didn't need it anymore. As if winter was a one-time event and the future belonged to another man entirely. Honestly, respect the laziness. No. 51. The reality-checked lawnmower. A guy returned a lawnmower because his yard didn't look like the commercial. Turns out he thought mowing alone would create golf course perfection. Sir, the mower cuts grass. It does not raise standards. Number 52. The disposable fork scholar. A customer returned 500 plastic forks because they weren't dishwasher safe. That is an all-time misunderstanding of the word disposable. At this point, language itself deserves compensation. Number 53. The sad book trauma claim. A woman returned a novel because the ending was sad. She said nobody warned her it would make her feel things. Ma'am, that's not a defect. That's literature refusing to babysit you. Number 54. The living room cargo failure. A man returned a backpack because it got too heavy when full. Inside were canned food, camping gear, and a cast iron skillet. That bag didn't betray you, your packing list did. Number 55. The existential ceiling fan complaint. A customer returned a ceiling fan because it just spins uselessly and doesn't multitask. Somewhere between owning appliances and understanding them, this country took a wrong turn. Number 56. The friendly welcome mat crisis. Someone returned a welcome mat because it was too friendly. They didn't actually want to welcome people. They just wanted something for the doorway. That mat told the truth too loudly. Number 57. The hamster cage epiphany. A man returned a hamster cage because, after buying it, he realized he didn't want a hamster. That is not a return. That is a late-arriving thought wearing cargo shorts. Number 58. The dreamless pillow protest. A woman tried to return a pillow because it didn't give her better dreams. She expected flying, adventure, something cinematic. Ma'am, pillows support your head. They do not write your subconscious. No. 59. The judgmental smartwatch. A man returned a smartwatch because it was too judgmental. It kept telling him to stand up and move around. Sir, it wasn't insulting you. It was observing you. Number 60. The spray bottle burnout. A woman returned an empty spray bottle because it ran out too fast. She had misted her plants every 5 minutes for 3 days. That's not defective packaging. That's botanical overparenting. Number 61. The birdcage escape clause. A customer returned an empty birdcage because the bird flew away. Apparently, the store was supposed to be liable for doors existing and not being closed. That's not bad design. That's free-range negligence. Number 62. The bee-attracting lotion surprise. A woman returned scented lotion because it attracted bees. The lotion contained honey. She reacted like the ingredient list had personally betrayed her. Truly incredible resistance to cause and effect. Number 63. The disposable season costume scam. Someone returned a Halloween costume after the party because it was too scary. No, it wasn't. It just did better socially than you did. Number 64. The grocery store physics experiment. A man returned a garden hose because it made his hands wet while using it. That complaint is so pure, so distilled, it almost belongs in a museum. Number 65. The Hollywood chainsaw delusion. A customer returned a chainsaw because it wouldn't carve ice sculptures like in the movies. Sir, that's not a product issue. That's your brain letting cinema do too much parenting. Number 66. The honest garden hose. A man brought back a dripping garden hose because it made his hands too wet. You really have to admire someone who meets water at full volume and still acts surprised. Number 67. The permanent battery fantasy. A woman returned AA batteries because they died after a few months. She said she expected more from them. That's not consumer feedback. That's disappointment aimed at chemistry. Number 68. The ice cream of expectations. A man returned a karaoke machine because it didn't make him sound like a rock star. He admitted he sang off-key, then blamed the machine for accurately reporting that fact. Brutal. Fair. Necessary. Number 69. The eternal ice proposal. A customer brought back a bag of ice because it melted after sitting in a hot car for hours. At that point, he wasn't asking for a refund. He was suing thermodynamics. Number 70. The bear-proof sleeping bag theory. A woman returned a sleeping bag because bears still sniffed around her tent. She thought the bag should somehow repel wildlife. That's not camping gear. That's an imaginary force field. Number 71. The ring that didn't work. A woman demanded a refund for an engagement ring because she said no. According to her, that meant the ring failed. No, ma'am. That was a relationship audit, not a jewelry malfunction. No. 72. The ticklish toothbrush emergency. A man returned an electric toothbrush because it tickled too much. Honestly, fair reaction. Still not a warranty issue. That's just your mouth discovering modern technology. Number 73. The loaded aquarium complaint. A man returned an aquarium because it didn't come with fish already in it. He seemed to think tanks were sold pre-populated like some kind of aquatic combo meal. Breathtakingly lazy imagination. Number 74. The tent too dark inside. A customer returned a tent because it got too dark inside during the day. Sir, that's not poor design. That's called shade, and most of civilization is actually a fan. No. 75. The instant coffee delusion. A woman returned a coffee maker because the coffee was too hot right away. She basically discovered fresh and treated it like a product defect. Time remains undefeated. So does steam. Note 76. The smoke detector firefighter fantasy. A man returned a smoke detector because it didn't put out a fire. That complaint says less about the product and more about the terrifying freedom of adulthood. Number 77. The puzzle grief counselor. Someone returned a fully assembled jigsaw puzzle because it was too hard and not fun. You completed the entire challenge and then brought it back like the cashier owed you emotional closure. Number 78. The dark-only flashlight crisis. A customer complained that a flashlight was only useful in the dark. That is one of those sentences that sounds fake until you remember stores are open to the public. Number 79. The Yoga by Osmosis program. A woman returned a yoga DVD because watching it twice didn't make her thinner. Watching, not doing, just sitting there spiritually adjacent to exercise. Incredible strategy. No notes. Number 80. The dog-proof couch myth. A man returned a destroyed couch because his dog chewed it apart. He expected furniture to be pet-proof. Sir, your dog isn't a pet. It sounds like a small demolition crew. Number 81. The necessary coffin return. Someone once tried to return a used coffin because they didn't end up needing it. That is not a sentence customer service should ever have to process. That is paperwork from another dimension. Number 82. The headache wine review. A man returns an empty wine bottle because it gave him a headache. He had, of course, finished the whole thing. That's not defective wine. That's just alcohol doing a flawless performance review. Number 83. The emotional cake refund. A woman brought back a half-eaten birthday cake because it wasn't as moist as she hoped. She had already eaten most of it. That's not feedback. That's dessert-based revisionist history. Number 84. The rockstar karaoke delusion. A guy returned a karaoke machine because it didn't make him sound like a rock star. The machine worked fine, it just refused to cover up the crime scene that was his voice. Number 85. The eternal ice cream theory. A man got mad because his ice melted after sitting in the heat. Somewhere deep in his soul, he truly believed frozen things should stay loyal under pressure. That's beautiful and very stupid. Number 86. The bear bait sleeping bag. A woman returned a sleeping bag because bears still sniffed around her campsite. She seemed genuinely disappointed it wasn't some kind of wilderness shield. Ma'am, it's insulation, not diplomacy with predators. Number 87. The Cinderella high heel defense. A woman tried returning a single high heel because she lost the other one at a party. She argued a better shoe wouldn't have fallen off. That is not logic. That is drunk mythology. Number 88. The TV binoculars disaster. A man returned binoculars because they didn't work well indoors while watching TV from the couch. Sir, binoculars are for distance. You are not bird-watching your own living room. Number 89. The Perfume Performance Review. A woman demanded a refund for perfume because it failed to attract men. She sprayed it on, waited dramatically, and got silence. That scent didn't fail. It just hit a staffing shortage. Number 90. The Robot Vacuum Labor Dispute. A guy returned a robot vacuum because it didn't walk the dog. He heard "smart home" and assumed every appliance had entered the workforce. That's not automation. That's appliance slavery. Number 91. The Ant-Blocking Picnic Basket Fantasy. A woman returned a picnic basket because it didn't keep ants away. Apparently, she wanted woven wood and fabric to overpower nature itself. A truly bold expectation from something designed to carry sandwiches. Number 92. The Bubble Quality Inspector. A customer returned an inflatable hot tub because the bubbles weren't fancy enough. He wanted luxury spa magic. What he got was air and water, which, to be fair, is what bubbles are. No. 93. The Hurricane Umbrella Complaint. A man returned a broken umbrella because it collapsed in hurricane-level winds. Sir, that umbrella was built for rain, not hand-to-hand combat with the atmosphere. Number 94. The Holiday Sweater Philosopher. A customer returned a Christmas sweater in July because it was no longer Christmas. Time had moved on, and somehow he felt the store should absorb that loss. Truly elite seasonal delusion. Number 95. The Unhelpful Pillow Protest. A woman returned a pillow because it didn't give her better dreams. She expected adventure, mystery, maybe a little flying. Instead, she got normal sleep and an unnecessary personality conflict with bedding. Number 96. The 7th Floor Phone Test. A man returned a shattered phone after dropping it off a 7th floor balcony. He said he'd seen videos of phones surviving worse. Sir, your purchase was a phone, not a stunt double. No. 97. The Sand Incompatible Beach Towel. A guy got furious because his beach towel collected sand at the beach. That is one of those complaints so stupid, it circles back around and becomes almost poetic. Number 98. The Air-Conditioned Chocolate Dream. A customer returned melted chocolate after leaving it in a hot car. He acted like the wrapper had failed to mention one tiny detail. Sunlight has been undefeated for a while now. Number 99. The Overqualified Litter Box Complaint. A man returned a litter box because his cat refused to use it. He genuinely wanted the store to solve a disagreement between him and a tiny, judgmental roommate. Retail is not animal mediation. Number 100. The Comfortably Useless Backpack. A hiker returned a backpack because it got too heavy once he filled it with camping gear, food, and cast iron. That backpack didn't betray you. It simply reported your decisions back to your spine. 101. The Grocery-Free Drone Complaint. A woman returned a drone because it didn't fly to the store and bring groceries back. She really tried to turn a flying camera into unpaid labor. Peak modern laziness. No notes. Number 102. The Self-Cleaning Kitchen Takeover. A woman complained that her self-cleaning oven didn't wash dishes too. Some people hear one convenience feature and immediately start drafting a full domestic dictatorship. Number 103. The Lucky Weight Loss Treadmill. A man returned a treadmill because it didn't help him lose weight. When asked if he used it, he said no. He thought just owning it might somehow count. That's not exercise, that's decor. Number 104. The Alien Exposure Telescope. A guy returned a telescope because it didn't reveal alien spaceships. He spent nights staring upward and got offended by the complete lack of extraterrestrial customer service. The stars stayed professional. He didn't. No. 105. The Too Cold Refrigerator Again. One man genuinely tried to return a fridge because it kept making food colder inside. The store sold him refrigeration, and he reacted like they'd tricked him with witchcraft. Number 106. The Dark-Only Flashlight Rebellion. A customer complained that his flashlight was only truly useful when it was dark. That sentence should be printed on a plaque somewhere, just to warn future civilizations. Number 107. The Too Effective Headphones Problem. A woman brought back noise-canceling headphones because they blocked too much background noise. Yes, that is what they were made to do. Some people are offended by competence. Number 108. The Too Honest Mirror. A woman returned a mirror because she didn't like what it showed her. That's not a faulty item. That's glass refusing to participate in your little fantasy. Number 109. The Raincoat That Won Too Hard. A man complained that his raincoat worked too well and kept all the rain out. At this point, the issue is no longer the product. It's a deep national allergy to satisfaction. Number 110. The Fan versus Paperwork Case. A guy returned a fan because it blew his paperwork off the desk. He set it to maximum power, created his own tiny weather event, then acted like the appliance had gone rogue. Number 111. The Milk Expiration Lawsuit. A woman demanded a refund because her milk expired after 2 months. That might be the perfect ending for this whole disaster. An adult discovering time, bacteria, and consequences all in 1 gallon. Stores are supposed to sell products. Somehow, they also became confession booths for people who lost a fight with weather, gravity, temperature, wildlife, expiration dates, personal responsibility, and the basic definition of what an object is supposed to do. Because none of these returns were really about defective items, they were about people refusing to admit that sometimes the product worked fine, and they were the weird part. So, if you made it all the way through this beautiful parade of retail nonsense, drop a comment and tell me the dumbest return you've ever seen, because clearly, America is not done producing material.